Here's how I would rank the IMDb top 10. I get why people like it so much, but in 10, I'd go with Return of the King. It's not really my thing. I think it ends way too many times. I think it's way too long for its own good. I think things happen in this movie about 5 times. Don't get me wrong, I think it has its moments, like the Ride of the Rohirrim, I think is great. Mary singing, I think is great. The lighting of the torches, I think is great. But there's so much fluff in between that I just can't sit through the 3 hours and 20-minute runtime. I'm not going to call it bad, just not for me. At number 9, we have Shawshank Redemption, a movie I do not know why it is number 1. Again, a movie of moments when Tim Robbins climbs out and then he does the thing in the rain, whatever. But I think it's just like an average Stephen King adaptation. If you put this and The Long Walk side by side, I meant the same thing. At number 8, we have Fellowship of the Ring. I prefer this one to Return of the King because it's shorter and because, again, its moments are better. And you get the formation of the Fellowship. You get Boromir's death, one of the best characters in the entire franchise. You get to Fly You Fools. Crazy that the best Lord of the Rings movie isn't even in the top 10. At number 7, give me Schindler's List. Now we're on to like the big hitters. I think this is basically a perfect movie other than the shower scene, which I think is extremely exploitative. This movie using Spielberg's blockbuster tendencies to make a movie about this subject matter is insane, and that it remains watchable while also being insanely gut-wrenching is also a fucking testament to how good of a filmmaker Steven Spielberg is. 6, I have The Godfather Part 2. Admittedly, might need a rewatch. I've only seen it once. I respect the movie. I think it's a very good movie. I do not like the split storylines. I'm so much more interested in what Vito's doing in this movie than what Michael is doing. I get the entire point is to mirror each other. Again, might need a rewatch. At number 5, we have The Dark Knight. Say what you will about this not being a quote-unquote good Batman movie. It is a good movie proper. Like, it's just a tremendously well-made Heat remake. Obviously, everyone talks about Heath Ledger, but I think Aaron Eckhart does an incredible job as well. At number 4, we have 12 Angry Men. Past this point, you can have them in any order because the top 4 movies are basically perfect movies and you can't pass through them. Easily the most iconic Bond movie ever made and probably the best one I've ever seen as well. In a lot of discussion, I mean, it doesn't really matter whether he was guilty or innocent because the entire movie is about due process, but I've seen so many takes about him being guilty and how they let a guilty guy go, which is pretty funny. At number 3 is Tarantino's best movie, Pulp Fiction. This feels so lived in, you just live with the characters. I get people don't like the narrative transgressions, everything with Bruce Willis in his ass and stuff, but it's just, you're there for the vibes mostly. You're there for Uma Thurman and John Travolta dancing. You're there for the shootout at the beginning and the end. You're there for the cheeseburger talk. It's like one of the best movies ever made. I had a really tough time choosing between 1 and 2. I went with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly second. Not for any reason other than I slightly prefer the first one. I think if you wanted to show to someone why you like films so much, you could do a lot worse than just showing them the Ecstasy of Gold scene. It's a perfect case study in tension building. It's a perfect case study in music. I mean, the score is like the most iconic score ever made. And then number 1 is The Godfather because number 1 is The Godfather. How would you rank them? Let me know. Drop a follow. IMDb forever.